So I apologize, I do apologize, but I have to do that. I'm missing too many people after games because they got to get out of here. I had no doubt that our team would come back. We were missing close range shots. We were missing some layups. We were staying on the glass. We were staying aggressive. So it wasn't about the offense. You know, we missed some layups. We missed some open threes. But today we didn't guard the ball well enough, and we didn't guard the shooters well enough. Whether we were man, we were in zone. We just did not have a hand up the way that we needed to. And the basket started looking like Lake Michigan for them because it was open. And I'm disappointed in that because this team is improving in a lot of ways. And those of you that have been covering us, I think you can see that they're improving. And it's not a moral victory speech. We are improving. But we have got to quit hurting ourselves with not having our hands up or not communicating a switch. There's no excuse for that. And as much as they're improving and as much as they're getting better and as much as they're getting better mentally and physically, that's still hurting us. And I don't have a great answer for it because we work on it every day. We work on stick hand every day. We work on challenging shots every day. We work on getting up on the shooter every day. We work on getting around screens every day. And we just can't be late. And when we're there, we got to get our hand up better. We just got to get tougher on the ball. Go ahead.
Yeah, this alludes to what you're talking about a little bit. How frustrating was it? It seemed like you guys would get into 2, 3, maybe 4, and then they would just immediately get down there and get off a really good shot.
That's the hard part because we were pressuring. We're trying to bring some pressure, and we had some luck with the press with that. But you just got to get matched up. When you're switching as much as we're switching, it's not about the matchup, all right? And when you're switching, there shouldn't be very many open shots. Now there might be a shot that goes in because a bigger guy shoots it over a smaller guy, or the smaller guy gets around the bigger guy. We're going to deal with some of that, right? When you're switching, we're going to deal with that. But when you're man on man, when you're up on them, there's no need for that. And we had some guys who were disappointing with their level of hand pressure and hand activity today. And as a team, I'm very disappointed with our communication because it was a winnable game. And they made a lot of. They're a very good team. They're a very physical, aggressive team. We figured out the offense as we went. You know, we got tips and we were getting to the basket, and we just had to make sure our cutting game was going, and the defense loosened up. Even though, obviously they played very hard, but they were in a hard denial to start, which we figured they would be. But we just, too many open looks and a few too many open drives. Go ahead, Mark, I can hear you.
Raise your hand tall if you have a question.
He's right here. Go ahead, Mark. Do we need the mic?
Yes.
We're all in here close together.
You talk about your team improvement. It seems like every game you have it's something else that you're
exactly.
Whether it's defense.
That's why it's the first year.
Yeah, layups.
Now, let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. We're in our first year. Yeah, it is. If we were clicking on all cylinders, I'd be. It is what it is, right? I mean, we don't put 40 minutes together. All right, we're in the first year, right? And we're trying to get what we're trying to get done established. It's part of it. I don't think we're asking for anything more than anybody else would. We've got to, we are not a consistent basketball team, hence the record. But we're working at it constantly, and again, that's the bottom line. I mean, does that make sense? Yeah, I mean, I couldn't come in here and just talk about all the things we're doing bad, but that wouldn't be accurate. You know, we're doing some things good. Or I could come in here and just talk about the good and not allude to the bad. That wouldn't be honest either. I'm trying to give you guys an honest assessment of where we're at. And that's the bottom line. But let's all remember it's the first year, right? And I'm as glass half full as anybody can be. But we're in the first year trying to get this thing established in a very, very tough league.
You mentioned it being a winnable game. When you look at the last 2 to 3 minutes, it seems like it was the first time in a long time that you guys were in a situation where you're down maybe 1 score, 2 scores. How do you think, in terms of when you were in that situations like that earlier in the season to now, how is it?
Oh, I think we're much better. And I'll take you through my thought process at the end of the game. They go to the foul line, we put Derek in, because we want to get a quick 2. It's 20-some seconds left. We have 2 timeouts left. It's a 2-score game. Okay? That, we don't want to come down and go right to the 3-point line. We want to come down and get inside because we're in the double bonus, all right? And on the radio show, they asked me, you know, was I concerned because we never got in the lead? No, when you're in the bonus like we are, that gives us a chance to set our defense. I'm not concerned about that. If we weren't getting to the free throw line, then there'd certainly be a concern. But we come down, we run around a screen to get it inside to Nick, because we need Nick in the middle to break the pressure, right? So then we bring Nick into the middle. We don't get it there, and we wanted to score, get fouled, and then go to one of our timeouts and set our pressure. If we'd had one timeout, it's another story, okay? Because now it's a hard, but with 2 timeouts left in a 5-point game, you still have enough time, all right, to score, get the timeout, get your defense set, play, stretch the game a little bit. We missed 3 wide open threes at the end, right? And then telling the refs, score timeout, score timeout. Because at that point, go get a good timeout there. We got to take the open 3. We're rebounding the ball. We just missed them. One of those go through, it's timeout. We're setting our press, and we're playing from there. It didn't work out that way.
Questions?
Coach, just want to ask you about the, had down to 4 points, and then Haas steps up, hit those 3 big threes before she called.
Yeah, bad switching. We didn't switch out.
We
We wanted to switch out. Yeah, we wanted to switch out. I mean, we do it. That's what we do, right? I mean, you switch out and deny. So, we not even switch out and deny, just switch out and cover them, right? We do a lot of switching. This was a game we were going to switch everything. And the other night with Gafford, we weren't going to switch that, right? There's certain things, but we have 2 things we say. When in doubt, cut on the offensive end. When in doubt, switch on the defensive end. And there should have been no doubt in those situations, but there were. And hence he made some shots. And we knew he was a good shooter.
Tyree, speaking of good shooters, Tyree was a little bit off early on after getting some good looks, but you stuck with him and he makes 3 threes in the first half. But it seemed like a long stretch. I may be wrong, but it seemed like he sat for a long stretch in the second half after missing a few to start. How did you assess Tyree's play? And
I thought it was solid, but I thought Jordan Harris was doing a really nice job. T-Shawn did some really good things. Turtle, we have rotations. The reason I sat Tyree down, he gave up 2 buckets, 2 layups. He's got to guard better, right? And so that's the bottom line. I mean, we don't have anybody that you look at. Nick, it maybe comes the closest, but here we are again today with Ray with foul trouble, and he didn't guard very well. And one of the reasons he's in foul trouble is because he's standing straight up. He's not down low playing like an athlete. It's one of the reasons he's not scoring as much in those situations. And it just is what it is. But it's one thing to score, which Tyree can, but he's got to guard the ball better. And that's the bottom line. That's why that stretch was like it was.
I think you guys only had 4 turnovers in the first half. I think it was in the balance there towards the end. You had probably more than you wanted down the stretch. How do you feel about where you...
I got to watch the film. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I know we had the 4 at the half. I have to watch the film. It was a 2-score game with 20 seconds to go. So the turnovers weren't the issue as much as the open shots for them were.
When we talk about this not being a consistent team right now, defensively, what is keeping you from being as consistent as you want to be? Is it lack of communication, or is it...
What did I say? How did I cover that? I just covered that. We're not getting our hands up as much, and we're not getting our communication, yes. We're not switching it as well. And if I had a couple of guys that I could go to that I know we're going to hold the fort down, communication, I did it with Christian Harrison. Put him in, he did a good job. All right, we've got to get better in those situations. So it would be communication. It would be staying true to what the game plan is when it comes to what we're trying to do, and in this case with the switching. And it comes into being tougher on the ball and challenging shots. That's the biggest things.
Any more questions for Coach?
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.